back, everyone, to Nerds, Geeks, and Gamers. Today I have Carlos
What?
and Raul.
Howdy.
We have two films we'll be talking about today. One of them is a newer one from 2022 called Smile, and then the other one that we watched is The Ring, and that one's from 2002. Now, Carlos didn't tell us which Ring to watch, so I watched the Japanese one, but, we'll just go from there. It's called Ringu.
Ringu,
yeah. But before we get into the movies, why don't we just kind of talk about what we've been watching? I know Raul had an extensive list, so I'll kind of start with him here.
Oh, that's the wrong list. Asparagus. No, I'm kidding. So I've been watching Agatha every week. That's interesting. It's actually not bad. It's one of the better Marvel shows that have come out. I've been watching The Penguin. That's awesome. I fucking love that one. I like the kid that's in there. He was also in the Runaways, which is another Marvel show. And I like them in that one. And I kind of feel that that's the Penguin's kind of Robin kind of thing. But this weekend was a big anime weekend for me.
Oh yeah,
I watched a lot. So I watched Dan or Don, or I don't know how you pronounce it, with an awesome opening too, with the creepy nuts again. And then Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War came out this weekend, and My Hero, still watching that, and it's still breaking my heart. And then Blue Lock season 2 came out, and that was interesting. And then I started. Well, on top of I'll say these other ones. So I saw the first episode of Orb on the Mountain, on the Movement of the Earth. So if you like Dr. Stone, you might like that one. It's pretty much about the 15th century. So the Earth is the center of the universe, and the church has a big role in everyday life. And then if you kind of steer away from anything like that, then you're a heretic. And then there's this kid that's kind of like a genius, and he kind of thinks like, hey, the Earth might not be the center of the universe, but he'll get killed by the church if he says anything.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there was only either 1 or 2 episodes of that one, but that one was cool. And then Blue Box, which is like a sports / romance anime, that was interesting. That was just the first episode, but this one I saw the whole first season because I don't know, I was inkling to watch a show, and the Osa newbie adventurer, blah 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 blah. But just this like 30-year-old that becomes an adventurer at 30. But he trains with like all these S-class like adventurers. And then they like super train him. So then he goes to take his E-class exam, and he's like murdering everyone because he was trained by all these like super strong people. But it's interesting. It's cool. It's interesting to see an old dude.
I feel like I want more of a thorough review from the shows you just mentioned, because I mean you're giving me a list of what you said, but I mean some of them I've heard about them, some of them I have no idea. But yeah, I mean that's cool, man. You're pretty much like taking some of the shows that I watch, so
okay,
what I'm gonna talk about. Yeah.
All right, we can talk about it when you mention them.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I'm like, you passed by Bleach so quick that I'm like, dude.
Well, because I know that one, some of these are big, like My Hero and Blue Lock and stuff like that. So I don't really need to explain what they are, but like those 3 other animes, I knew I had to kind of explain what they were, because it's not, one, they're either new, or 2, no one's probably, or at least you guys haven't seen them.
They sounded interesting. I actually want to try and see them. The sport one, that's a little romantic. I kind of want to see that one. That one sounded
the dude plays badminton and the girl plays basketball, and their moms played basketball together when they were in high school.
I thought she was talking about Blue Lock, because that has so much romance in it.
Obviously.
Yes, with pretty much all these high school boys together.
Dude, I'm not even. I'm not even joking. Blue Lock's essentially like I'm gonna get him back, or I'm gonna prove him that he made the wrong choice by leaving me behind and not picking me. It's very like
The
he's
girls are saying that?
no, it's all
No,
guys.
it's all
It's all
boys.
male. It's all male in Blue Lock.
Oh, man.
Trust me,
Can't
it's the
I,
best.
I do like whenever they have enemies like that, like how creative they get with everyone's look, because they have to distinguish everyone, and they have
Mhm.
so many different looks like across the board.
Yeah, like your favorite will be long red hair boy, or orange hair boy.
Yeah, I always forget names, so that's how I end up
Orange hair,
describing
spiky
them.
boy, or orange hair,
Spiky hair, yeah.
down, down hair boy.
Down here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
I feel like that would make my fight or flight go off with the, I want him to take me back. I'd be like, no, you leave him. I can't do that stuff.
he's not good for you.
No, yeah, you deserve better. It's fine.
He left you to begin with. He left you for the main character.
So now you get with the main character and show everybody. That's a good extensive list, though. A lot of the things that you brought up, I kind of want to gauge your brain a little bit and watch them myself almost.
no,
Yeah.
I mean, would you say Blue Locks picked it up right where the last season left it
Oh
off?
yeah,
Rosie?
yeah.
Good,
It's pretty
awesome.
much like, because I went and rewatched the last episode because it had been a while since I saw it. Because this one like just starts off right away, and I was like, "What the heck is happening?" And so then I went and rewatched the last episode of the first season, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, this is where it left off," and then it kind of made more sense.
Oh, dude, I'm excited. I'm just gonna let them build up though, because I think for Blue Lock, I want to see one after another so that I don't lose the
I
momentum.
know,
Yeah,
but I can't help it.
I know.
So, Carlos, what have you been watching here?
So I wasn't gonna mention this show because there's like 5 seasons of it, and I mentioned it last week. But I started watching. I've been watching Peaky Blinders, and the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because in the second season, to my surprise, Tom Hardy shows up as
Oh
one
yeah,
of the characters. And if you know something about Tom Hardy, and we're gonna talk about him next week when we talk about Venom, the first and second movie.
he's in that.
Yeah, he's in Venom. he has a very special relationship with the symbiote in that movie. But so he's in Peaky Blinders, and dude, this dude is always doing some kind of voice. Like he fucking he should take the crown, the trophy of always doing a character.
about?
And it's fucking insane. Like, I saw him and I'm like, sure enough, he's gonna do some kind of accent, some kind of voice. And yeah, he proved me that he's just the best when it comes to that. So I've been enjoying Peaky Blinders just because I just started the third season and I haven't seen if he's gonna show up on it, but I surely hope that he shows up, but he might not. And no, go ahead, Ro.
Oh no,
Okay.
dude, I didn't even gesture anything, but like I thought something. And did you hear my thoughts or what?
I heard you sipping from your drink, and then I heard
Okay.
You got closer to the camera and you were really intensely looking, so we were both like,
I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna say something about Tom Hardy.
No, I was just gonna say that I know with Peaky Blinders at some point, I guess Anya Taylor-Joy shows up in the show.
Spoilers, dude!
Wow.
No, don't do this to me. Oh, dude, yeah.
Well, I have no idea where, when, what role.
Yeah.
It's nowhere that I've seen yet because I haven't finished the show, but I think it's somewhere in the later seasons.
I think if I was complaining with the second season, there was just too much sex happening all the time. It's like, give me less sex and any more gangster stuff happening.
The horse lady or who? I don't remember.
That's one of them. Yeah, the horse lady and the horse. Yeah.
That sounds really
There's
bad.
already a banana situation. I don't want to talk about this.
And then I guess to you, I saw Dan Dan Dan, which honestly could be the crown gem of this fall.
I knew that you were gonna like it as soon as I saw
Don't
it.
say too much about it. That's on my list. I have it up. That's why I was nodding my head so much when you had mentioned it the first time around.
Watch it.
It's there. Like I have it up on the side.
I think the second episode dropped tonight, so it's like every Thursday. So I'm excited to check that out to see if it continues. And
Oh,
then
I forgot about one, which
which one?
kind of came into play last week when on Friday when we were going to do our game thingy. The Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
check out the new episode tomorrow morning for sure.
you're gonna wait that long?
Well, it came out tonight, right?
Actually, I don't know if it came out tonight or last night. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it after this.
I feel like I want to
Okay.
binge it once it's all done, just to kind of see it all together.
That one I'm just doing week by week because it's so good, and I think it doesn't leave you with cliffhangers as much as some of these other animes do. Especially Blue Locks always have fucking cliffhanger. Yeah. And then the last thing, and Sylvia, you should know this about me because now you've been recording with us for like the last 5 months.
You watched Emily in Paris again?
I have not watched Emily in Paris. It's on my. I'm scratching to continue that second part of that season, but no. There's two things that I love. One of them is giant mecha. Like I love giant mecha shows in general. Like I'll give them a chance because I fucking love robots. I wish I could pilot a robot. I wish I grew up in an era where there was giant robots.
You wish you were a robot?
I wish I was a robot. And the other thing that I love is Bleach. So yeah, Bleach came back. And dude, again, I try not to like get hyped up, not to build myself because I already read the manga, so I have an idea of what happens. But not only were the last 2 seasons just amazing, but this third season, the way it starts, the first episode, I'm like, dude, it felt so surreal with everything that was going on. Like, I'm like, what's the budget? Like, how much money? How can you give me this level of animation in first episode and continue throughout the next 12 episodes? It's incredible, man. I love what's happening in Bleach.
Practically slave labor.
Something I realized, if you've noticed, a lot of these animes, they are coming back. Like we just talked about Code Geass not too long ago. They're coming back and they're on Hulu, and Hulu's not really doing a great job of advertising them. But Hulu is, or they were 51% owned by Disney. So I got a feeling like Disney is almost saying like, we want our own anime. We want people to think about anime and come to Hulu, come to Disney Plus. I feel like they know that people are coming to Disney Plus to watch Bleach. I feel like they're almost giving them a blank check. Like, hey, we need a fucking like slam dunk. So here's your check. Make me a good anime and make sure that you get me new followers. And I think that's what's happening. And I think that because a lot of people do talk about Bleach as far as like when it comes to the grading of it, like what was one of the best seasons of the year, like one of the best anime of the years. And normally Bleach has been on top because I think a lot of people are fans of Bleach. Just for some reason, not a lot of people are talking about it. But
what's a big three?
Bleach. It's a big three.
And it's a big three for a reason. So,
and so I never expected to like start Bleach from the beginning, but
it's a long one.
But I heard
is it only 3 seasons?
No. Okay. So the anime came out in the 2000s.
Okay.
But it was long, and then it stopped at one point, and then it came back it came back like 2 years ago, kind of like in the next arc, but like brand new animation, and it's been awesome. But yeah, it's a really good anime.
So picture if Naruto Shippuden was going like really great, but for some reason the manga wasn't selling, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're not gonna do the Shinobi War. Like we're just gonna end it. Stop."
After Pain.
We give the creator like, hey, you gotta wrap it up in the next 5 chapters, and then all of a sudden like Naruto came back like 10 years later, and he fucking came like, hey, I fucking been working out, I've been taking steroids, I've been fucking hitting the gym 24/7, and it's just like blows you away.
I've been hanging out with toads.
So that's what it is. That's what's happening with Bleach. Like if Bleach had continued back in the day, it probably wouldn't be like as great as it is right now. So it's kind of like I'm super thankful. Again, I'm sorry. But
it's long. You're saying it's long?
It's probably a couple hundred episodes.
Well, here's what happened with
seasons.
No. Wait. So when it came back, it's come out. It's maybe been like 20. There's probably like 30 episodes.
I got you now. Okay, so it's the previous seasons and then these. Okay.
So you could do what Ramon did, which he didn't watch any of the original. He just kind of like watched the recap of what did happen, and he just started fresh with the new seasons. And he's been loving it. I got a feeling that he's going to be somebody that I could talk to him about Bleach. Because he really became a fan as we were watching it together when he came back.
I do watch 2 times speed, so I might be able to get away with it.
You'll be so confused, but feel free to text me all your Bleach, all your Bleach questions. I'm here for them.
It's 366 episodes.
How many minutes per episode?
Over 80 hours of content.
So I can watch it in 40 hours. That's like a work week.
But just watch the new season. Like, don't go back to the beginning. Like, watch the new season whenever it came back, and then see how you feel for it. And then if you get curious, go back and watch it from the beginning.
How is she supposed to fall in love with Eisen if she doesn't go back?
with my Lord and Savior Eisen, yeah.
Oh my god. This week I too. Sorry, Carlos. Are you done with all of your
yeah? Sorry, we do plan on letting you talk, Sylvia. You know, we do plan.
No, hey, I'm all for it. No, I also had a slightly longer list this time, but not too much. I only have one anime on here that actually two that I should say that I just started. One is Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh,
we
dude,
talked about before.
Yeah,
so I only watched a few. Yeah, I only watched a few episodes so far. I'm enjoying it. It makes me want to cook though, which I guess is a good thing, but you know. And then the other one is I think it's called ReZero.
Ooh!
Shut your mouth! You're watching ReZero? No fucking.
So,
dude, I wish I would have been drinking.
If you want to do an episode on it, I'll finish it.
Dude, if I had been drinking this, it would have gone all over my laptop. ReZero.
Spit it out. Yeah.
Can you give me some thoughts on it?
The new season just started too.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know. I just watched the first episode. I was about to go on the second one, and I thought, no, like I really need to sit down and think about it. I started watching it at 2x speed, and then I took it back because I started getting really interested in it, and I love it.
Yeah.
It caught me by surprise. I stopped what I was doing because I was just playing something while I was kind of working on things, and then within like 5 minutes, it caught my attention, and all my attention went into it.
You know, I've gone on the record to say that I hate isekais, but this is an isekai that I really like, and the characters themselves, like I don't know if you probably haven't even met the maid yet, but yeah.
no, it's just the princess girl.
The princess at this point, yeah. There's two maids that are so fucking popular, like they're more popular than the show them itself.
Rin and
Ren, yeah.
Ren?
Forget.
Yeah, I forget. It's been a while since
it might be Ren and Ren.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, no, there's 3 seasons of it. No, it caught me by surprise. I enjoyed it so much, and I always watch things 2x speed to make it go by faster. I didn't even realize the first episode was like almost an hour long. I kept watching.
I will say in the second season you have to pay so much attention because I was lost, and I think I have to do a rewatch to like actually maybe pay more attention. But I was really lost in the second season.
I wasn't lost. I just got tired of the princess. I got annoyed by the princess more than anything. But I'll push through if you want to do an episode.
Yeah. Let me get through the next few episodes, and then I'll let you guys know. So far, though, I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So.
I'll tell you, it definitely starts like hella strong, and I love the premise. I love the premise of like kind of restarting kind of thing.
Yeah, once you're
yeah.
See, I thought the lady was screwing with him. I thought she was the one sending him back a few times when he went into from the first episode when he was going in, and then she kept cutting his stomach. I was like, it's got to be the weapon. There's
her?
No way. Yeah. I thought she was doing something and just fucking around with him, but then I realized it's probably kind of that's kind of what's meant to happen. So
no, it gets frustrating because then he'll die and go back to like after so much progress. I'm like, oh my god, all that fucking progress out the fucking window. It's so frustrating.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you forget to save. Yeah, it's when you forget to save and you got to go all the way back.
Like no, or you're like playing and then all of a sudden the power goes out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I've twice now, because where I live the power goes out all the time. Twice now when I've been playing Cyberpunk, I've progressed so far and I forgot to save, and it takes me all the way back like 2-3 hours. And it's been so frustrating.
Yeah.
So I started that, and then I finished up Teen Wolf because, I've been watching that. So I finished the rest of it. I also watched the movie for it.
Oh, I was going to say, you're going to watch the movie for it?
Yep. So I watched the movie. Not that good. I didn't.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I heard bad things.
Yeah, it wasn't too great. And then I went into watching All American, which is another kind of older show. I feel like, or maybe it's still going
that's
on.
like a football one, right?
Football, yeah, yep. So I went to that, and I
T
think I'm
Diggs
on
is in it,
season.
isn't he?
I think maybe
Yeah.
I can't picture him in my face, but I think I'm on season 4 now
Oh,
ish.
damn.
So
Damn.
but that
Two
one's one
times.
that I watch in 2 times speed, and I'm cooking or doing whatever. And then Love Is Blind. I've been watching that as it comes. I think it comes out on Wednesday, so I've been watching that, and it's been getting pretty hectic. So, yes.
So another. So I actually saw one movie besides the ones that we're about to talk this weekend. Because I noticed that it was on Netflix, and I don't know. I felt like it was a type of
Bad
movie
Boys?
that I can just get my mind off of things.
Was it Bad
Pain
Boys?
Hustlers
Oh.
with Emily Blunt and Captain America.
Oh wow,
Chris
Chris Evans?
Evans.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it's in a way it's kind of refreshing seeing Chris Evans like back to the old Chris Evans, because like in the roles that he used to do, because he's kind of like not a sleazebag, but he's not all Captain American-y.
Oh, is that the
And
one where they sell like
yeah,
pharmaceutical
yeah,
products?
pain
Yeah.
pills. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it was pretty interesting. It's different than like the other pain movies and shows. But it's it's entertaining. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little worried about Chris Evans because some of the like projects he's picked after he was done with Captain America have been a little bit hit or miss for me. So I'm a little
Knives
bit.
Out.
No, Knives Out was great. No, I'm talking about more like he has a Santa Claus movie coming out. There was an Apple Plus movie that was just horrible. I heard. And
Gray Man. That
Gray
was
Man,
good.
I like them in Gray Man. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that one, no
I
notes
did
on
too.
Gray Man. Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, there is a movie and two movies we're gonna talk about. So
Yeah.
yes, and
If we
the
ever
little
get to
game. Yeah, the little game that I'm gonna have you guys play at the very end is actually about Love Is Blind, because neither of you guys have watched it, right?
damn, no.
Okay, so I have a little game set up for you guys. Hopefully whoever is watching or listening kind of sticks around to the end, because I want to see what you guys end up saying.
It's like
Megan Fox.
Yes, that's the correct. Exactly, Chelsea. Yep.
All right.
So let's start with maybe The Ring, because that one's a little bit of an older movie, I feel like, from 2002. I didn't watch either of these movies prior to you mentioning them, surprisingly. I've seen The Ring, but the spoof version of it, like the scary movie
scary movie.
versions
yeah,
of it,
three.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew the premise of it, but I haven't actually watched it fully to the extent. But if you guys want to share your thoughts on The Ring.
So I actually saw it like around the time that it came out. And I think at that time that was around when like The Grudge came out, and these Japanese remakes, like American remakes of Japanese movies were coming out, and they were like so different and so good, that kind of like just became a thing for a while, and people actually got into the Japanese ones too. But yeah, like I remember seeing it back in the day and scared the bejesus out of me. And I actually knew what tapes were, and how bad reception was on cell phones, and what house phones were, and all that stuff. So so it's a little bit more relevant to millennials. But yeah, I loved it. I even have like this very vivid memory, because I had already seen it, and then we were watching it at my cousin's house, and then we have like a younger cousin that was watching it with us. But it was a bunch of us, and then in that moment when the the camera guy, the guy, when his TV turned on, and then the Samara or whatever her name was, like, was
Tomorrow,
coming
yeah.
out of the TV, like my cousin freaked the fuck out, because he was like really close to the TV, and then he just like pretty much climbed his way all the way back. It was hilarious.
No, yeah. No, I also grew up around the time that The Ring was coming out. And yeah, like dude, this movie was huge. Like I can't even really describe how much it was talked about, how much popularity there was to this movie that was coming out, because I think it was just like back in the day, you would get commercials in the middle of the night, and like, dude, if you saw like this fucking trailer in 10 p.m. at night, you'd be like, oh man, that shit creeped the fuck out of me. So I went and I looked in Wikipedia. The budget for this movie, so to my surprise, was freaking $45 million, and that's a lot of money for a horror movie. You're lucky
Especially back then.
Back then, dude, that's like a budget of $100 million. It might as well be like $100 million they got to make this movie. So, you know, seeing this movie, because I remember my thoughts when I first watched this movie, because I don't even think I saw it in the movie theater. I remember, one, not being really scared by it, and two, not really being impressed by it. And maybe it could have been just because there was so much hype to it that sometimes things just can't live up to that hype. But on my rewatch this time, because I think it has been like 20 years since I've seen it, like I was like, oh my God, this movie looks like it was just made like this year. Because that could be because of the high budget. And the acting is awesome. I don't consider this movie like a horror movie at all. I consider this movie more of like a mystery. Like, hey, there's a mystery and there's a clock and we have to solve the mystery by, you know, in this case, 7 days, or else, you know, we fail. And I just think the Ring premise could make such an awesome TV show in 2024. Like if somebody just did like a 6 episodes on this mystery and what's happening, and gets more into the details about, you know, we don't find out
or 7 episodes, like one episode for each day.
Good producers, man. But yeah, no, I actually came out loving this movie more today, and it's because I was so impressed by the way it looks. Because I was just expecting it to look like, I don't know, 1988's like Freddy Krueger movie or something for some reason. It didn't, and it didn't. It did not look like that at all.
Yeah, it was a good looking movie, and I kept thinking that they were made around the same year, to be honest. When I first started watching this, I was like, oh, it's from 2022, the same as Smile. And then I wanted to confirm the years before this, and I looked over and it's from 2002. It was done and shot very, very well.
Yeah.
And I think in 2022, since it did come out in that year, I can see why it did so well. It brought a lot of new elements to the screen, I would assume, but it's also something that in 2022 especially, people have never seen something like this, and I don't even think there's a remake of something. Yeah, sorry, in 2002.
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, because I don't think because he made like $450 million, so it made way past his budget. Like, he made money back.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I don't think there's anything even nowadays that even comes to par with the plot that they had. It's so original that I enjoyed it mostly.
Mostly,
is what I should say. Yeah, mostly. But I did enjoy it. It was it was a movie that I didn't know what was coming next, to be completely honest. I didn't know what to think. I got really sad about the horse part, though, and I think that's why. That's my mostly. Because everyone knows that when you spook a horse, everyone knows when you spook a horse like that, that's what's going to happen. And then she kept trying to touch it. I was like, back up. The horse doesn't know you.
This horse is not feeling you, lady.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. It's like someone goes up and pets your dog, and your dog doesn't know them, so it bites them, and then they blame your dog. It's not their fault.
So my third note on that movie was leave the I put house. I meant horse. Leave the horse alone. Yeah. She kept going back to it. I was like, what the hell are you doing? He obviously doesn't want you to touch him.
Yeah. She kept trying to touch the horse, telling it to calm down while it's freaking out. And the whole time I'm sitting there, I like horseback riding, so I'm thinking, girl, like, back up.
But you know what? Like, I'm really glad that these two movies were picked. One, I had never seen Smile, and I wanted to see it, because it kind of it did have hype. It did look creepy, like in trailers and stuff like that. And then so I actually saw that first before I did the rewatch of The Ring, and I actually did the rewatch today. But like
we watched it together. It's okay.
No, but I started taking notes because, like, from the start of Smile, I was like, oh, okay, and then I just kept taking notes and notes and notes for Smile, and then today when I was watching this, I was like, oh, what a contrast between the two, because like this is a very, very well made like horror movie. Like it has a lot of, it has a really good story. It has a really good premise. It has honestly a pretty good cast.
Yeah.
That kid is
Naomi Watts is
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, the kid is awesome. What's her name? Naomi something.
Naomi Watts.
Naomi
Yeah.
Yeah,
Watts, yeah.
Watts. Like, dude, honestly, I can't believe I wasn't in love with her back then because she, or maybe it's just an age difference because she looks young. She looks hot as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jim
And
Compton was great. Yeah.
Even now she
oh
looks great.
yeah, and but like it's such a good like well made movie. Like they're really what besides the horse thing, um, and a couple other. I think that was it. Um, yeah, besides the horse thing, um, there was like no other moment that I was like, oh, horror trope, or like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't make sense, or like, oh my god, like the director was so lazy or whatever. Where in Smile, I had a ton of points where I was like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
dumb, and they kind of just like it took some away from me from watching Smile because there were a lot of moments that like I couldn't suspend my disbelief because it just didn't make sense what they were doing or whatever. But in this
Mm-hmm.
one, it I was kind of engaged the whole time. There was nothing that really took me out of it, and I was just following through, and it just made so much sense of a well told story.
Yeah. I mean, for me, when I was trying to watch The Ring, I was trying not to watch it at night, man, because I'm like, this movie's gonna freak me out. So like, I remember I had an option to watch it at 11 p.m. and I'm like, it's not gonna happen.
If only I knew what day you watched it, I would have called you and just said 7 days.
Oh my god!
So I just kept trying not to watch it at night, and eventually, like, I had to watch it like at 9 p.m. And again, I thought it would be creepier and scarier in the beginning. I almost came into it thinking like, oh, you know what? I remember not loving this movie, and maybe this movie's not that great. Because the one thing I don't like about it is the intro. Like, I just think the intro is trying to copy what Scream, not Scream, yeah, Scream did with the first one with Drew Barrymore. Like this whole idea and trying to freak you out, and I just wasn't feeling that. I think if you cut out that intro, I mean, you still need it in a way because it kind of
Mm-hmm.
does move the pieces forward. But I just feel like that intro could be the one thing that I would try to either, I don't know, maybe just change the scenario a little bit to make it a little bit more spookier, because that's what you're trying to do in the beginning, just like get the audience ready, like, hey, this is gonna be a horror movie. But that intro is just like not my favorite part of the movie.
No, I will say though because like so. It's a scary movie, so they want to kind of start like off the bat, and they do a lot of things, and I think around this time was when they kind of started like faking you out, and like in scary movies
Yeah,
of like, oh, a scare's coming and then it doesn't come, and it just kind of builds anticipation. Like when she's in the fridge,
Mm-hmm.
and because every time that someone's at the fridge. With the door open, they always frame it so that whenever the door closes, you're
yeah,
expecting to be
you're
scared, and then
expecting it.
yeah, but they didn't do anything, and then stuff like that kind of kept happening, kind of building up the suspense. So I think it was like even though that or having that in the beginning wasn't original, I thought it was well done, and it was a good way to kind of introduce like what kind of scary movie uh, this movie was going to be because like it kind of introduced a few characters, it introduced kind of the lore of the movie and the story of like, well, if you see this movie, then you get a phone call that says that you're going to die in 7 days, or whatever the girl said in the beginning. But you also kind of have the idea that they don't really believe it, and then all of a sudden you kind of start building and seeing some of the scary stuff there, and then with the TV, and then with the water, and then you know something bad happened, but then they don't pay that off until way later when like at the wake or the funeral, that the mom mentions the way that she looked, and then finally you see her face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like I thought that was well done. Just the fact that they don't show you that in the beginning because it kind of adds to the movie. Because the whole movie's kind of building up further and further, and kind of becoming creepier and creepier. So I thought that it was good to kind of delay that the big hit of seeing her face till way later.
yeah,
Yeah, they built the suspense very much so in the start, where there was never that relief of, okay, this is what happened to her, until, like you said, during that funeral, and then we find out it was a heart attack, and then you see her and you're kind of like, oh geez. But then you see how it progresses from it just being that, and then you have the kiddo, Jackson, I think his name was, he starts drawing all of those drawings and everything. So it keeps building up to it. And they never give you that full relief until I feel like that very end, once we see Samara and she kind of comes out of the TV. I feel like the whole movie was building suspense on top of suspense, and they gave you a little bit, but they never fully, even when she was in the home of the father, and she was watching like from the TV, he goes to hit her. I think it was a hammer or something, but then she got right back up and she's still following him going upstairs. And then he has like all of the electric set up there to like do it, whatever. But it still built enough suspense to where you kept thinking, oh, what if he kills her? But he doesn't. Then you're thinking, oh, what if he drags her in the room with him to kill her too? But he doesn't do that. And for me, my suspense kept building until that very end when she crawled out of the TV. And I was like, oh, geez.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're thinking that the dad had something to do with Samara, like him killing her. But then, when you do find out it's the mom that did it, you're like, oh, man, like, he might have been an asshole, but maybe he wasn't that kind of asshole. He might have been maybe the more level-headed from the relationship. And it was funny to find out Brian Cox played him, bro. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit, it's him.
Which is, me and Raul, just big Brian Cox fan from other things.
Succession. And being striker. Next one.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the movie itself, though, from the very start all the way to, I want to say the very ending, though, I didn't fully get it until I had to really think about it, realizing, oh, they have to make a tape, like the copy of the tape, in order for them to not have that 7 day, whatever it was, until they pass away. And then she has to kind of take that tape and put it somewhere type of thing. So she made her son do it because he watched the TV too. And he doesn't even know what he's doing. He just knows he's really just pressing the buttons and making the copy. So now you technically have two tapes, one that she made and one that he made.
I think you also have to show it to somebody. So I think it's make the copy and then show it to somebody. Because that's the only way it really could spread, because if you don't do the showing part, and I think that's what Samara wants. She wants this tape to like spread so that multiple people see it.
Well, there's actually been 2 sequels to this. There's The Ring 2 and then Rings. Where I think Rings came out not too long ago, but at that point it's digital anyway, and I think it's online, like on YouTube or whatever that you can watch it.
Yeah, which got me thinking, if it was nowadays and this happened, someone could just stream it online. Do you know how many people? Just think about the
just
ghost.
On Twitch,
think about Samara having to go out and kill like millions of people a day because everybody watched the video.
Millions of people a week.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that kind of could be an interesting movie too, this idea that everybody's just dropping dead and it's all the same.
You see it on YouTube, you see it on TikTok, you see it on everything, and then everyone has 7 days. Yeah. This poor girl is going to have to crawl out of every single electronic device.
I don't know if they had this back in your day, but like something that I think me and Raul grew up with, it was like, this whole, I think they called it a chain, Raul, where it's like you would get a message and it would say like
chain letters, like it's
yeah,
particularly
like,
send this to the next
emails.
10 people, or
like if you don't send it,
Ross, you don't love God, or
you're never gonna find love, and
or like stupid ass things.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
God.
That's what's wrong with my life. I never forwarded those emails. My God.
Oh no!
I should have forwarded those emails, and I should have responded to the Nigerian prince. My God.
You probably slacked at some of them and only sent it to like 7 or something.
Yeah, but I think I only had 7 friends, so I only sent it to 7. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't even know when like the origin of those chains back in the day, but I'm like, that has to be the recent inspiration behind somebody creating the rings. So it's just I think, I don't know, maybe it's just always been a thing. Maybe it's something that if I would look into the history of how chains started, it's always something that people have always done. Maybe since like the early days.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it with actual, like, written, like
letters.
Posted, like
thinking of hieroglyphics, just like etched into like a piece of rock, and they throw it somewhere.
In a pyramid somewhere.
But even with the emails done, you have those Facebook moms now that do the same thing, like my post to whatever.
Oh my God. Dude, my mom used to do that. Like when she finally got on Facebook, she would send like a bunch of those all the time. I was like, Mom, stop it.
Stop.
No, I think the Rings movie that came out not too long ago, I think that's the one that touches on the backstory of Samara, which honestly, after finishing the first movie, I'm like, dude, well, the obvious thing to do with the sequel is to explain like the origin of Samara, which I guess they didn't do, and they waited almost 10 years later to actually try to maybe cover that story. And I think that's the more interesting thing about this whole movie. Like, I do want to understand more about Samara. And maybe that's the reason why I kind of am curious about the 2017 The Rings movie, just because I want to know more about her. What makes her truly evil?
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't remember much about it. Like
It's not a
the
good
first,
movie from my understanding. Yeah.
yeah, the first one is definitely the best one. Because honestly, like this movie was so well done,
Mhm.
and especially one like everyone that's seen it like knows it. It
True.
stays with people. So it's a very memorable movie, and everyone thinks of it either very fondly or very horribly because they like they don't like scary movies, and it's a scary movie. Um, and it's very well done, so it obviously scares a lot of people. But yeah, but like the people that like scary movies, everyone thinks of it as a very well made movie, and and it's regarded as a very good scary movie. So um I definitely it'd be hard to beat this type of movie, and I think that they've tried doing similar premises to this in other movies, haven't they?
I don't know, but I know like for me, like the best part about this movie was the investigating because it kind of reminded me
Mm-hmm.
of the Zodiac killer. You know, you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to find the Zodiac killer and putting all the
With the
clues, and I like
reporter.
and I like that part of it. Like, yeah, she had motivation to try to like find out like the whole history because she has 7 days or else she'll die.
Mhm.
But I like that. I like everything that she went through. She was a reporter, so she knew, especially back in the day, they're like those 2002 days, fives. Like, how do you investigate something? You know, it almost seems impossible.
You
You
go
have
to
to
the
go there.
library.
Yeah, you have to go
Yeah.
to that place.
Like when she was doing searches on the web, I'm like, was that really like, like it almost quite made me question like if that article would come up at that
Hmm.
time. Yeah.
Well, it obviously would have because that's when they made it.
Yeah. You know, we need to talk about the worst character in the movie, at least for me, and it's that damn boyfriend, daddy guy. Like,
Oh,
fuck that guy. Man.
Noah
Why?
was it? Was it
No,
Noah?
yeah, no, I did not like Noah at all. I didn't like the
Why?
fact
Really?
that because he didn't want to be this kid's dad. He's just
Was
like
he this
doesn't
dead though?
he was 100%, yes.
Did they
Was
say
he?
it?
Yeah, they even have a conversation. Like, first of all, when the kid watches the tape,
I thought their
and he
conversation was you never grew up.
no, so when the kid watches the tape and she gets that call, she like hangs it up, like doesn't answer, and then she answers it. It's like, don't take him, whatever. And then it's him, and she's like, our son watched the tape, so it's like your first clue. And then later on in the
Mm.
movie, him and the son, like the guy and the son, actually have a conversation, and he says like,
She said
was it?
our son.
He said our son, yeah, our son
Oh,
watched
okay.
the tape. And then later on in the movie, him and the son are in the car, and he's like, I just wasn't ready to be a father, and whatever. So it's like that's him acknowledging to the kid, like, I am your dad, but I just mentally couldn't be at the
That's
time.
so odd because
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
he still cares for the woman. He just doesn't care for.
And financially, he's doing really well. Like, he has that huge, big ass
Yeah.
apartment. I have no idea what he does for a living, but I'm like, dude, like, okay, maybe you weren't ready for it 10 years ago, but like, come on, it's time to be like, hey, like, I am your dad, and I'm sorry, I just never acknowledged you. Especially because the kid, I did like the kid, so that's
Dude, I
why I'm
love the
like
Yeah, I
kid.
love the
I'm getting
kid.
defensive because I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be that kid, like your father to that kid?
Yeah, yeah, that's a coolest kid. And there was a point earlier on that he kind of gave me like the Sixth Sense vibes
Yeah.
a,
Hmm.
a bit, but I don't know. That kid was awesome, and whoever that actor was, I fucking loved him.
It's funny because I think I looked him up and he grew up to be an attorney, so he's like an attorney today.
Yeah, David Dorfman.
Yeah.
He's 31 years old. He was born in 93. He's an American attorney and a retired actor. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Wow,
I
that's
do
Oh,
think
cool.
he
it's
was in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well.
I don't remember that one.
I like those stories where like, yeah, he could
Oh,
have
I
maybe
do
gone
remember. Yeah,
he could have gone the road of becoming like maybe more of a movie star, but like at some point it's like it's not for me. And he actually made like a career out of himself.
Hmm.
He used that money, and I'm sure throughout his whole life he was
I
getting free
mean,
drinks. Yeah,
hey, I would do that too, though. I would be on a show or in a movie, make enough money, and then just have a normal job
yeah.
and call it quits. Because who need? That's what there was one Disney star, Bridget Mendler. She did that. She ended up getting a degree in MIT.
No, because that's what you're doing. You ride the popularity of the fact that you
Yeah.
were in a
And
movie.
then when
You
you're
know.
done, you just leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know with Samara, though, when she was with the psychiatrist, how was it that they let her leave?
I believe that dad kind of took her out of the hospital, and
Checked her
that's when
out.
checked her out, and I think
Mm,
that's when they went to that cabin place, because the cabin place, that's where the well is at. So I think that's where they went on a family trip, and that
mm.
yeah,
And then the mom just. Mm.
yeah, no. Well, she was. I mean, we know throughout the movies because there's clues throughout the movie, but like she was just making people and animals and everybody. I guess you just surround yourself around this girl, like you would feel
Yeah.
like shit. You would see
Yeah.
images, you couldn't
She
sleep.
had a bad vibe.
Well,
Well,
she
it was
kept saying she was evil, right?
Yeah, she's like, I can't help it. Like, I actually want to hurt people. So it's like, I like that idea of it because I think the twist at the end of the movie, that is to me like the biggest payoff. And I think it's a great twist. I'm
Mm.
surprised it doesn't get talked about as one of the best twists ever because I think it is like an amazing twist. You think you saved this little girl, but in reality, you let an evil
Dude,
out that
dude,
you wouldn't have.
I thought it was awesome that they had like that false resolution and
Mm.
kind of
Yeah,
and played it out.
absolutely.
Yeah, because you think like, oh, okay, everything's gonna be fine now. She found the body, and they're gonna bury it, and maybe throw some salt in there and burn it. Um, and then and you see him kind of going home, and then the guy leaves, and she like falls asleep with
Mm.
him and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you hear what happened with
What was
with it.
the son that tells her like, Rachel, what did you do, Rachel? Like she
Yeah.
never sleeps, Rachel. And so now I'm
Yeah.
thinking you should have like done something with your hair for this episode because you're creeping me out right now because of
What?
your long ring hair.
Oh,
Your
oh
long dark
man.
hair. You should have got
Don't,
blonde
no,
again.
I thought you were giving me crap because I had wet hair when we started, and the first
Oh,
thing I
that's
told Raul was, I really hope it dries by the time we start
Why was it
filming.
wet? Were you
yeah.
well?
You know well.
You have
Oh, she
7 days.
disappeared.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I'll put this on YouTube and we'll get more than 70.
There's the proof. Oh man. No, I did that though with the resolution. When they said that they buried her and all of that stuff, I'm like, all right, great. Like they found, it's done, it's all finished, and then the kids started acting out, and then what happened happened. I sat there for a minute thinking that's one of the best twists I could have
That's
possibly
what I'm
thought of.
saying.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's great. And I'm sure the original Ringo probably that's where the inspiration comes from. And I've never seen that movie, which surprises me
I
because
want to see it. We
yeah,
Hmm.
should watch it.
We should, yeah.
yeah. Because
Next
like
movie night.
next
Yeah.
movie night, the
Mhm.
Ringo.
Put it on. So now Smile though. That's a
Wait, hold
newer
on.
movie.
My,
Yeah.
my other notes for this, in the beginning, I was like, "Ooh, Rachel," because the son calls her Rachel. I was like,
Yeah, Rachel.
my parents would have like beat the shit out of me if
Oh
I
yeah,
called them by their name.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I put the mom looks so young, and then the horse, and then when when she went back to the Morgan house, and like the door was open, I put Sylvia's front door.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah. But my thought was, why would you just walk in there? But you're right, that is that. My first thought was, why would you go in there? And my second thought was, that's my person. I would most definitely, but I wouldn't leave it ajar like that. I just have it unlocked
Yeah.
because I think it was slightly like open to where you could tell it was open when she pushed it.
Yeah,
But why would you just go into someone's space?
Yeah.
she's
I
a
mean, that's
reporter.
TV in his like house. Why wouldn't she just take the tapes back with her then?
Because she's April O'Neil.
I mean, that was the one
Mm.
scare I think that did get me when like the guy shows and like smacks her with the
Mhm.
electronics. I'm like, oh shit, that was creepy.
Mm-mm.
Okay, now we can talk about Smile.
Okay, you
Oh
lead.
my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! So I was looking forward to this movie, and then like I started watching it, and then like off the bat, like I stopped it, rewound it, and then I showed my sister, like, this girl is such a bad therapist.
Yes.
Like she
Yes.
doesn't fucking listen, and then she's calling her crazy, and then when she asks her like has anybody in your family or parent ever seen hallucinations or something like that. I was like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, I thought she was gonna say like, have they seen any of the like, have they seen this thing that she was describing and all that stuff? But dude, she was such a bad therapist, and I was like, okay. And then after that, like after the girl like cuts her face open,
Yeah.
and she's lying on the floor, face down, bleeding out. The orderlies come in, and the dude like checked her pulse.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, we have to do that. If that ever happens, we have to check a pulse, even if we know that it's they're gone. You have to do it. That's like
Back here, just face
No.
down. It's not like she put it here.
No.
He like did this,
Yeah.
and then like he didn't try to like stop the bleeding. He didn't do nothing. He went and like
He
tried to
just
check the
I
pulse,
know.
and then did
My-
this, and then did it
My
again.
bigger issue with that, though, is if it's such a secure place and she called to say, hey, she's going, like, we need help, something's happening, why wasn't there an immediate assistance right there? They just stood around and did nothing until she actually killed herself.
So something that I picked up, because this is my second time rewatching it. Something that I picked up about this lady, which I'll look up her name right now. But she, something that you get is
Rose?
that she works. Can you hear me?
Rose?
Yes.
Oh, Rose. Sorry.
Yeah.
So something that you understand from watching the movie in the beginning is that this lady works a lot. Like she's one of those people that like you cannot get her to go home. She works like 80 hours in 1 week. And the reason behind that is because she has this guilt that when she was little, she let her mom die. Instead of going out and seeking help so that paramedics come and save the mom, she just let her die. So she has this guilt. So the whole movie is almost like saying like this lady cannot let go of that guilt. So it's the reason why she's obsessed with her job. Like she won't leave it. The whole reason this situation happens to her is because the phone in the beginning of the movie rings, and she had already walked out of her office. She had like turned off the lights. She had gone for
I would have not picked up that phone.
Dude, I counted. It was like 15 seconds, and then the phone started ringing, and she just, I don't know if she just stood by the door waiting for the phone to ring, but she just like immediately picked up the phone. And I'm like, dude, you deserve this, because if you had just left, and again, it's this whole obsession about maybe some of these people that got possessed by this entity, they had childhood drama, because even that girl in the beginning, you find out that her grandfather died in front of her when she was like a young kid. So she even had that drama. And it's like a lot of that, as we talk about the movie, I'll mention how the other victims like has some kind of drama like later on in the movie. But it was just kind of like, it's very interesting that like, you think this the entity is just picking like maybe people at random, but it might not be at random. It might actually be picking that have these sort of issues from their past, or maybe everybody, that's the lesson. Every one of us has some kind of issue that we just haven't dealt with in our life.
Oh, so we're getting into that now. So when I was 6, I'm kidding.
Oh God,
I'm kidding.
And then just smile.
I just smiled throughout the whole thing.
I will say the whole smile thing was creepy as hell. Like most of them, some of them were, like it just didn't work. Like the other therapist lady, like her smile wasn't really that creepy. It just looked like a normal smile. But yeah, like some of them were like creepy. Like that first girl, she was creepy.
I think the movie, from when it was announced, it kind of felt like a joke movie. Like, don't take it serious. It's gonna be trash. It's gonna
like
go
a PG-13 type.
It's just like a lot of horror movies come on. They don't do any well. Nobody talks about it, and it's just immediately forgotten. I think the reason why I suggested Smile is because you can see from the director, like he was trying things, man. And like the jump scares work, their creativity works, the acting works. And I just think, I don't know, because Smile 2 is coming out later on this month, if that's going to ruin the legacy of the first one. But I think Smile itself could have been like one of those movies that's forgettable. But I think there's something in there, and that's the reason why we're getting this sequel.
I think it had potential, but I think it was lazy, because like there's so many times that like things just brought me out of it. like in the beginning, the fact that she was such a horrible therapist, and then when she was back in her apartment or whatever, like I don't know why it bugged me so much that like she's getting wine, but she puts so little wine in her fucking glass, and then she like chugs it. It's like not even a full shot, and I was like, really? Like after all this, like You would
But
think she'd be pouring a ton of it in there.
My first
she kept
reaction
dropping
was
the glass, bro.
my first reaction though was that's not even a restaurant pour. Like it's not a house pour, but it's not even a restaurant pour. You just like
I know. I was like she would not pour that like so little wine in there and then drink it all fast and then like what the fuck's the point? I don't know. And then my next note after the wine was A Train.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, from the boys.
yeah, that was cool.
Well, she was a shitty. Like my wife was watching both of these movies with me, and she's like, they don't have any chemistry, and I'm like, I think that's the point. You're supposed to like not feel like there's any chemistry between A Train and her.
Yeah.
Rose. Yeah, because technically her true love was the cop. That's who she had the chemistry, or that's the connection she really had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could definitely see it. Yeah, because it was kind of apparent with that. But yeah, like I did kind of like it because it was kind of like a good contrast to it. And then just the one I love the fact that it was A Train anyway. But I don't know. I thought, especially his reaction when she told him that she was seeing a ghost.
Well,
or
I mean, because I mean, me and you are in that age where I think if we were, especially you, that you're kind of in the dating world, you maybe would try to find like a woman that fits all these like different things, and I think that's what Adrian was. He was kind of like, I want a woman that.
I want a shitty therapist
that just has
who has hallucinations and who watched her mother die.
No. Well, she wasn't showing him. Like, her whole thing is like, I open up too much to my prior boyfriend, so I'm not going to open up to my new fiance. I'm going to, like, bottle up all that shit because I want to keep it inside of me. Because, yeah, like, Adrian just wanted this woman that had a job and could fulfill that dream.
But to be fair, he tried helping her more than her ex did. Because he tried to get her a therapist to talk about it. And honestly, crappy therapist, not even just in the therapy sense, but once you start seeing hallucinations and you're in this field, why are you not checking yourself in?
Yes! Dude, like, that was another thing. I'm like,
biggest thing.
Yeah. You're obviously seeing something that doesn't make sense. So
you would go and seek help. You wouldn't try and bottle it up. Like, it didn't make sense to be.
Well, it's one of those things where if you do that, how some of these places, especially because she didn't work like at a fancy self-private one. She worked at a public one. So it's almost kind of, you have that stigma that, hey, if I check myself in where, let's say the place she works, she's not gonna, knows maybe she's not gonna get the treatment.
But see, if you work in this field, everybody knows that at one point or another, you're going to hit a point where you need to see someone to help because you've heard and you've seen so many things. So there's
a lot of therapists see a therapist.
Yeah. But I'm saying, have to.
But also, if she checks herself in, doesn't that ruin her career? It's like, hey,
No, not at all. No. Mm-hmm. The best social workers are the ones that have experience. The best counselors are the ones that have experience. Why do you think AA has run so well? Because it's typically someone that had the addiction or has the addiction, and they understand what these people are going through.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like if you're in this profession and then you throw you're having these issues and you throw yourself in one of these places and then you come out of it, they're not going to want to keep you employed because they're going to be like, damn, you just took us through hell because you were going through all this stuff. And
they might didn't, though, because they check themselves in or they seek help before they...
I mean, I love the way before it becomes a problem. Yeah. I mean, I love the way you think. Honestly, that is how it should be in the world. And, I'm gonna continue with your thinking that it would go that way.
I want to say 8 times out of 10 nowadays, I'm in the healthcare field, and I can tell you 8 times out of 10, that's usually how it is. If someone sees a therapist, you give them the mental health days that they need. It's become better. It's definitely not like it was before. Before they would have been like, you're going crazy, you shouldn't be in this field. I agree. Now though, it's very different. It's when you see counseling or a therapist, they kind of they let you do what you need to do because you hear so much. You can't just live through everyone else's trauma and then not have your own.
No, honestly, and I feel like everybody should see. I mean, everybody has stuff they want to talk about, like on their personal level.
And on that note, better health, everyone.
For real, they're not a sponsor, but everybody should be talking to somebody.
No, yeah, and to kind of go off of that too, because even police departments are doing it too. Could be a really good friend of mine. Every time that he's been like in a shooting or has seen a shooting or whatever, like his department forces him to see, like, to talk to the therapist or whatever. Yeah. So I'm
See,
happy for it.
it's for this. Carlos is just
Yeah.
Wait, what is it?
Carlos, you're not an advocate for this.
I know.
What do you mean? An advocate for what? For like seeking help? Yeah, seek help, but I just don't expect to have a job.
Oh my
once you've gotten that
I'm
help.
glad I don't work for Carlos.
Oh my god. No, but again, there is a difference between like talking to somebody and like you're having. I mean, especially because she does things at her job that she like. They tell her like, Rose, don't come back. She freaking. I mean, I guess it was an hallucination. It really didn't happen. But I think she was doing a lot of red flags that if she ever would have gotten mentally better, they would have been like questionable to have her back. I don't know. And I mean, again, if she gets fired for that, she could. We're in America. She can lawsuit like sue them, and get all this money, man. So it's America,
dude. My next note is why the fuck is she back at work the next day?
Yeah,
she witnessed like the girl like just do that in front of her, and then she goes back to work the next day.
Yeah, because she has this guilt, man. She has this guilt of letting her mom die.
No, why are they allowing her back?
Yeah, I don't think any job would.
Because it's Kumar being her boss, and that dude's just getting high.
It's Kal Penn.
Oh, did I get them mixed up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He was Kumar, but the actor's name is Kal Penn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and then going back to just to talk to the other guy that's already like she's already ruined that other guy. I forget his name that was in the hospital, and then she went back, and then he had the creepy smile, and she was almost attacking him.
Yeah, dude, when she stabbed him
off.
When she stabbed him, that shit was so fucking real. Like I was like,
oh my god! I was like, oh, why him? I was like, is it because he's already troubled, or I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
And they're like, poor Kal Penn.
See, I think Smile's worse than The Ring, because in Smile, like, you gotta kill somebody, and then you gotta fucking pass it on to somebody else and let them go through, like, and then Smile, like, the demon or whatever, really puts you through hell. Where in The Ring, I just felt like, Samara ain't gonna give a fuck. Like, you watch the tape in 7 days, bitch, I'm coming after you. Like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, she ain't fucking ruining your life for the next 7 nights or 6 nights.
She kind of did. Like, they had bad dreams. They were drawing circles.
But I think it's leading up to the 7 days, so you know it's getting closer and closer, so it starts getting more and more aggressive. Because I think she ended.
What about selfies? God, you can't take selfies anymore.
Oh yeah, and the ring. Whenever we take a picture, it just
distorts her face.
Yeah. I was thinking of the time when she was pulling out the hair from her mouth. I could not watch that. Yeah. Yeah, but Smile though.
At least it wasn't through the other end of her body.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Carlos!
Hey, we've all gone to Mexico and had a taco or something from street vendor.
What? What does it have to do with the hair?
I don't know, a worm. You could pick up a worm.
Oh no!
Have you guys done any of those worm like cleaning like things that you're supposed to do?
I've never done one.
They say if you eat a lot of seafood, you're supposed to do it. Worm cleansing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So send me send it in a group chat so I can order that shit.
Oh, I thought we were saying.
Oh my god,
this is off the rails for sure.
Oh my god. Dude,
Smile though.
Smile. Yeah, everybody just keep smiling, everybody.
Yeah.
I felt bad for A-Train though. She completely left him alone for the ex, and she didn't like. She was emotionally cheating on him, right?
Yeah.
And then she continuously was just with the ex-boyfriend or whatever, and he was almost egging her on, where the hallucinations got worse because he kept leading her to wherever it was she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And then my next note too, to kind of go off of the thing in the before, is like, why would she be so defensive about being crazy? Like that's the thing I don't get. Like she
own it.
No, just like, hey man, like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. For example, in the Ring, she was like like she just said it kind of like coming out like normal or whatever, and it didn't cause panic. But
Mm-hmm.
the way that this girl was saying it, like it she seemed fucking crazy, and
Yeah.
it was like, what the fuck's wrong with her?
I think the one part that if I was to recommend Smile to somebody that might lose people is the cat when she gives the cat to
Oh
the.
my god.
I think that's hard to watch, man. Especially given that like to a kid and his birthday party and everybody's like, you can't come back for that from that.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah,
And then it was her sister, right? So it was
yeah,
technically her
Yeah.
nephew, yeah.
No.
Yep.
What did you guys
yeah.
think about that part where the sister's coming towards the car and then the head kind of
Oh
cut?
yeah, like oh yeah, that was a
Or
jump scare.
Oh, dude, it's like
Oh my
I had
god.
already seen it, so I knew it was coming. Like, but I was just kind of looking to my wife to see if that would get her.
Mm.
And yeah, sure enough, it got her. So I thought it was like a really good shot. You know, you don't expect it, middle of the
And
day,
then
and
yeah, out of nowhere it happens, and then she
I
looks back and she's not there.
I did expect like something creepy to happen just because of how it was, because like she came out she came out of the house and stood like right in front of the car like window or whatever. I was like, fuck,
Mhm.
something creepy is about to happen. But like I wasn't, I didn't know what creepy thing was going to happen, and
Mhm.
then the whole thing
yeah.
that I can't do because I have a normal neck.
No,
Normal.
you have a normal night. Yeah, no, I'm trying to give it like props because I think it did some things really well. Even that at the end of the movie, that giant monster.
Mm-hmm.
I could send you guys like a
I
video
just
or
thought
clip of it, but it was practical. Like they actually had that giant woman
that was
looking thing
good.
on set, so that's like a
Mm-hmm.
real thing. And I'm like, and like from watching it the second time, I'm like, yeah, you can absolutely see that. Yeah, there's some digital effects, but you can see that that's probably like was right in front of this lady at the very end, and it was creepy as hell.
Yeah, dude. I honestly like practical. I think is the way to go, because I even have another fucking note. Like when they were in the car, like it looked like it was the fucking 1950s, like with the background around it, because
Oh,
like you could tell everything outside of the fucking windows was fake. And that was another
Mm-hmm.
fucking moment that brought me out, which annoyed me because there were like moments scattered throughout the movie that just like brought me out of the movie, because like, dude, this is so bad. Like you could tell that everything in the windows is fucking fake. But that thing was good because it was creepy as fuck. Like I thought of the Slenderman,
oh,
Yeah.
Slenderman.
Yep.
dude, Slenderman could have been. Oh no, not Slenderman. It Follows also has like a very creepy tall man in that movie.
I
It
don't
Follows.
remember that one.
Oh.
But yeah, like it was well done, and it was creepy as hell. And then it I think it served its purpose. And I will say the thing that I also liked about this is that you never knew if something was real or if it was like a hallucination
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they
kind
went
of
on
thing.
for so long, the scenes, and you're like,
Hmm.
what the fuck? Like when she goes to, or where her therapist goes to the house and she's having this talk with her, and then the actual therapist calls her on the phone. I'm like, dude, that scene
Mm-hmm.
probably went on for like 2 minutes before like it was the reveal that this whole 2 minute
Yeah,
conversation was just fake. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That definitely, like, I did like that, and the scares were pretty good. And just the movie was creepy, which is good, because like it just that sense of unease kind of throughout, I think was good for this type of movie. I just wish that wasn't brought out so often, um, because either I don't know if it was the budget, I don't know if it was just like bad studio or like bad effect studio, or I don't know what. And sometimes I felt they were just like lazy. What do you know what else the director has done of this
No,
movie?
no, no. I haven't really looked it up to see what other work he's done. But the one thing that I was gonna say that did like at the end, because then you almost get the feeling, kind of like the Ring, that she's gonna defeat this entity, because she starts being like, not only can you're in my mind, so and I can
Mm-hmm.
control my mind. And I wish the movie had played more with that idea. Like I think it was quickly abandoned after she feels that she actually got rid of that entity by burning it, and then she drove away from the house, goes to her ex-boyfriend's apartment, and then you find out like, oh shit, like no, I'm still back in the house. But I wish it would have played a little bit more where hey, this is almost like a Freddy Krueger situation where like you're in my dream and I can still in a way have a
Control
chance
it
of
in a way.
control it. I think
Hmm.
maybe I don't know if in the sequel that'll be explore more, but I like that.
Yeah, because we don't know what happened. She just had the gasoline all over herself, and we don't know if it
She
was lit
she
or.
was lit. You could see it through his eye. Yeah,
Hmm.
you saw it through his eye.
Mm.
So like, no, dude, she's gone. Yeah,
So now he has the disease or the demon.
and he's aware of it. So I wonder. I almost feel like he's the kind of type to maybe just pass it on to somebody else, like
Mm.
kill
I mean, he is
somebody.
a cop,
He
right?
is a cop, so
So
yeah.
it's an easier. I just feel like if that was something that was upon me, I would just get myself restrained in a psych ward.
Dude, at first I thought that she was gonna like go there and to kill herself, but like in front of nobody.
Mm,
That way to kind of like end it there.
end it, yeah. Which
Yeah,
would
and
have been the smart thing to do, honestly.
I wonder if that's possible. Like if the entity knows you're trying to do that, if it maybe it will interfere. But I also kind of wish that was touched on this idea that you're just gonna kill yourself to see what would happen if you do.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I could see it like I could see it happening in the sense that she tries to do it, and then she's like bleeding out or whatever, depending on how
and it's not
she tries
real.
to do it, and then all of a sudden like she wakes up and she's like outside of the house, like before she goes
Exactly,
in again. It's like fuck, and then it just kind
exactly,
of keeps repeating, kind of like a Freddy
Mm.
Krueger type of thing.
exactly. I do think that's what would happen. Like
Yeah.
you're feeling the pain of killing yourself when you're really not, and then you're just realizing like, shit, I didn't even do it. I'm back to, you know,
Mm.
coming out of my sleep. Yeah.
And for you, Raul, there was a $7 million or $17 million budget. So
For
compared to
Smile?
The
Oh
Ring,
shit. That's
yeah,
still pretty high,
Dude,
dude. That's still high, yeah.
17.
like
Yeah,
20 years later, 17 million? No.
No, Smile. She's saying for
no,
Smile it was a
Smile.
seven
Yeah.
has
Yeah,
yeah.
17.
Because
Yeah.
most horror movies normally like they're under 10 million, man. A lot of them
Mhm.
are just 10
No,
under
no,
10
no, but
million.
like the bad ones are under 10. It's hard to have like good ones that are like under like 20,
But
30.
but if I'm writing you the check for this movie and I'm reading the script, this doesn't to me sound like a $17 million like
Well,
doesn't sound like this.
they made
Yes.
217
Because
million
horror
dollars.
movies have really good return because they're
Yeah.
cheap to make.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
That's
Yeah.
insane. Having a $200 million return.
Yeah, no, I do it in for the ring. I mean, the ring costs more, but yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think horror. When people talk about the movie theater experiences, that I think horror could really, on its own, keep it alive if people were just releasing horror movies. 'Cause I think it does give you an experience that you do want to share with other people. Because I think when you do
Mm.
watch a movie like this in the movie theater, the fact that other people are getting scared almost puts that fear in you as well. Even like Home
Yeah,
Alone,
because
you
it
might
builds.
not.
Yeah, it builds to the ambiance
Suspense,
and
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Um.
it's
Sylvia,
part of
you.
it's part of the reason why people like haunted houses because they're like
Oh,
being scared collectively
Hmm.
instead of just by themselves.
Absolutely. So, Sylvia, you mentioned you were gonna play a game with us, but before we do that, I almost want to. So one of the things that I used to love a lot came back on YouTube. Screen Junkies used to do this movie
Oh,
fight,
I know the
and
movie fights.
and
Yes,
and, and
I
this week
saw it
they did a movie fight. So I kind of wanted to
with
do that because
Hal. Yeah.
because I'm naming this kind of like The Ring versus Smile, even though we're really not here to battle which one's superior and which one's better. But I am
Hmm.
gonna pick you and Raul. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds, and I'm gonna listen to both of your opinions as to why one movie is better than the other. And you
I
guys
picked
can
the
go ahead
ring.
and okay. Raul picks the ring, which means Sylvia, you're getting the ring. Raul, you're getting Smile.
No,
And so Raul, do you want to go first, or do you want Sylvia to go first?
am I really doing
I
Smile?
thought we have 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm gonna time it, and Raul has 30 seconds to tell me why Smile's a better
Oh
movie,
my
and
god!
then Sylvia, you
Sylvia
have
goes first. Then
all right, Sylvia, yeah, you think you can do this?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna start the clock. 30 seconds to tell
oh
me
my
why the ring is
god!
better than Smile. Go.
Um,
Wait,
okay.
wait.
I'm writing. I got a plan.
I can see Sylvia has never watched movie fights.
No, I guess I can go first.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what I'm
You know,
supposed to
you know what,
say.
okay, Raul and me will go against each other. Do you?
Yes, please do, so I know
Okay.
for next time. I'm
Okay.
In that
stressing.
case, I am doing the ring. You're doing Smile.
All right, fuck it. Okay, let's go.
Wait,
30 seconds. Let me know when you're ready.
am I going first?
Sylvia, can you do the time or no?
Yeah, I got you. I'll do
Okay.
timer right now.
Okay.
I'll set it off for 30 seconds.
Wait, who's going
Hold
first?
on.
You're going first.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'll set the timer. Ready, set, go.
So in The Ring, they definitely when it came out, they released it in a brand new way that people hadn't really seen a scary movie before. They definitely had a very good story throughout, where it followed a whole line where you didn't know what was going to happen, and then with that they kind of kept escalating and building more on the suspense, and then kind of showing you more and more of the story, but then in several different ways. They didn't really show you the full thing, and that was 30 seconds.
That was 30 seconds.
Okay.
That was nothing.
All right, then. So it's my turn. Let me know when to start, okay?
All right, ready, set, go.
So I think Smile is a superior movie to The Ring because I think when you're right now in this month of October, you're trying to put yourself in a situation where you're gonna get scared. When I was watching The Ring, none of it made me scared. It was a good story, it was a good plot, but at the end, I was never fearful. I went to bed, slept like a baby. When I was watching Smile for the first time, like holy shit, man! Like I'm like turning on lights. I'm watching this movie. Not only was my expectations for this movie very low, but this movie kept proving me wrong because it kept giving me not only very creative scares. I think the characters were really good. I think the fact that the entity itself, you never really get to know much about it, makes it more interesting to watch.
That's the time.
Okay, Sylvia, normally you do a rebuttal to try to argue each other's points, but in this case, we'll just be in our first time. Who do you think maybe won the argument from us?
I'm gonna have to say you, Carlos.
Yay!
Yeah. I panicked.
Oh, damn it! I thought I was really gonna lose it. All right.
I probably don't know how much 30 seconds are because I thought it was a lot more than what it really
Honestly,
was.
it goes by really quick. 30
It goes
seconds.
too fast.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
When they did it, it was 20 seconds, and it felt like those 20 seconds went on for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
gonna-
let's play your game.
I'm gonna move this around a little bit so I have a better view for you guys.
I just thought about it. What happened to Twitch?
Yeah, my drivers. I have to fix up my drivers first,
okay.
my GPUs, and then that's gonna. I don't know why it doesn't want to play without it being updated, but I have to update that, and then I have to update my OBS for it to all go together.
And we just lost our boomer people.
Yeah.
All these acronyms.
Okay, so Love is Blind.
There we go.
Very popular show, right?
Apparently, yes. People tell me.
Okay. Very popular show. Because of this, I've been very addicted, but I know you guys don't watch it. So instead, I have decided to pull out the contestants that are all engaged at this point. All right?
To each other? Or
the women
like...
are engaged to the men, right? Or the men are engaged to the women.
Okay.
So women and men over here. Now, my little game for you guys is, that they're all engaged to each other. I want you guys to figure out who is engaged to who.
Okay. Are they American or is this Love is Blind US?
Yes, US.
Okay.
Are we just gonna take turns till we guess right?
You guys can discuss. Maybe I should have put like numbers on them.
Oh, we're not competing. We're not competing with each other.
If you want to, yeah. No, you guys can. Okay, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I want to compete against
we'll go with woman number 1 right over here. I believe her name is Ashley. Which of the men do you guys think that she is engaged to?
I think she's engaged with.
I go first. I go first. So, so I think she's engaged with contestant number 3.
I think she's engaged to number 4.
Ooh.
You think 3, and we'll make you green, and you're thinking 4 right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have woman number 2. Her name is Alex. Who do we think that Alex is with?
Do we get to know anything about their personality or anything to distinct one?
Any questions that you would like to know, I will answer.
But I mean, oh god,
that would have been good to know for the first one. Well, the thing is that they don't know each other, or they don't even see each other, so they just talk to each other.
Right, they hear the other person's voice.
True, you're right about that. You know what? I feel like I'm gonna put 1. I feel like 1, and again, they haven't seen each other, but I feel like 1 would be very happy with choice number 2.
I say I say she is with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy cannot handle that package.
All right, woman number 3 over here. This is Taylor.
Taylor's probably with the fifth guy, or not fifth, from the sixth guy. At the very end.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I do agree with that. I think she's with number 6.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
Woman number 4 over here. I forget her name. Monica.
Monica, number 2 for me.
Okay.
I say number. I wanted to say number 1, but I think number 1's probably more with the other girl, so I say number 2.
Also number 2? Both
Yeah.
figures number 2? Okay. Right. We have number 5. Her name is Marissa.
Ooh,
With
Marissa.
number 1.
Marissa with number.
I'm trying to. Oh, you know what? I have 4 available, so number 4.
Okay. Did I make that the wrong color? Right. All right. And then we're finally to Hannah, number 6.
And I have number 3 is the only one available I have left.
Yep. And I think, Carlos, you only have 5 left, right?
Yeah, 5 left. Yeah. Interesting.
And you have number 3, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So Carlos, Raul, I believe Carlos won.
Oh no!
Well, how many did I get?
3.
I got
What?
3 of them. Can I know which
3,
ones
yep.
I got right?
So the correct ones are over here. We have Ashley, who is actually with, I forget his name, Tyler, I think it is.
Oh,
Number
wow.
1?
So she's with number 1, and then she is actually with number 2, so she's with Tim.
Oh, boo.
Alex is with Tim. Both of you were actually correct with her being with Garrett. So
that's funny.
So yeah. So Taylor and Garrett are together. Monica is actually with Steven.
Oh.
Yep.
Wait. No, that's not. No, I didn't
you
get
said
it right.
she was with
Yeah. With that guy.
and then again, Carlos, you're right. Marissa is with.
Oh, wow.
Premise.
How's that relationship going? Good?
Oh, they had a whole. Their biggest fight has been the fact that she does not want to use birth control and he doesn't want to use condoms because it won't feel good for him.
Oh no!
He also hates the military, and she is ex-military.
Oh god!
So,
oh my god!
And then, yep.
Is this the current season?
Current season.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have Hannah, who is in fact with Nick over here.
Oh no!
Yep.
That one's probably going good, right? Like them two.
Are any of them really actually going good?
Yeah. So these two are actually everyone's favorite. They're nerdy. They're both like physicists, chemists, so they kind of joke around.
Two? Which two?
These two here.
3 and 6.
3 and 6. Yep. Oh, nice.
So Taylor and Garrett are going really well. They're like a nerdy couple, but it's cute. Like their little jokes. They both have a dry sense of humor as well. We just found out that this man over here has 3 kids, but instead of saying he has 3 kids, he mentions that he's a sperm donor.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's
red flag. Red flag.
But she didn't know this until they got engaged, and it's just the latest episode that she found out that he has 3 kids. And he said that it was him being a sperm donor, but he's not just a sperm donor. He actually was in the life of these kids, except for this past year he disappeared.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This couple, they had an argument, and the way for her to stop the argument was to put her hand over his mouth and make him to stop talking.
Wow.
Yeah.
These two over here, he basically cheated on her. He said that he went on a sleep study, and while he was in the sleep study, he was messaging another girl on Hinge that he was actually messaging before he even went on the show. And then I think she went to text someone off of his phone, and the Hinge messages started popping up, and she looked at it, and she asked him if he was actually in the sleep research thing, and he said, sorry, I didn't realize I was texting her, I was drunk.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
These
Why are some
two I
people so
just
dumb?
these two I just told you about, and then these two not too bad. They're just different. She's got her crap more together than he does, and he's older than her.
Yeah.
But it's just a different dynamic. But that's not really anything bad to them.
Who's the tallest from like the men? And because I mean, they all sort of look short to me from the picture you're putting up. What's the average height for them?
I would actually say he's the tallest. Him
Which is
or him, I would say, because she herself, Taylor, she's like 5'8", 5'9". Like she's very tall, and she wears heels, and he's still taller than her.
oh okay. Okay, man. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my
Interesting.
game for you guys. Yeah,
Yeah. No.
Interesting.
Keep dude.
in,
Yeah.
in hopes to maybe get you to watch the show at any point.
You know the last game that you play with us, like I've been getting more TikToks about that specific game that we played, but I feel
Mhm.
like in
I
those
haven't gotten
TikToks,
any.
because you see the images that she's showing the boyfriend, like you see, and I'm like, okay, yeah, if you see like an image like that,
Yeah, it
it
was just
looks.
difficult to find a program that does it on
Oh no,
PC.
no, I'm
Once
just
I
saying
find
like,
it though, 100%, yeah.
yeah, like if you would have said, because I forget what it was, like you awake, if it would have been like you awake, and I don't know, maybe you showed me a picture of the guy that's texting her that, yeah, it would have been different. Like, why is that guy texting you? You
Where's
awake?
Channing Tatum texting you?
Yeah, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio, you up?
Oh man, no, this was great, man. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the movie. I know next week we're gonna be talking about a different kind of horror, and that's Venom 1 and Venom 2. So that'll be interesting.
I'll actually be able to watch those with my son.
Oh, nice. I might go out of my way to buy physical media of those. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So Sylvia, you are welcome to come in and shit all you want on those movies, but part of me
As long
might
as you
say.
don't shit on Tom Hardy.
But part of me
Okay.
says that you might find some laughter in all the whatever the hell is happening on screen.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm
Feel free to
down. I'm down for next week.
feel free to use voices too.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
it. I won't even use a voice modifier. I'll just use a voice.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, well, you guys take care of yourself.
Bye,
Talk to you.
everyone.
Toodles.